And things really are going to be wild out west with the addition, too, of the Houston Astros as they move to the American League. We welcome you back to Yankees Baseball Tonight. Let's talk about this offense. And, Dave, are the Angels now the clear favorite, in your opinion, to win the West?
I think they are. You know, not only did you add Josh Hamilton to your lineup, but you took him away from the Texas Rangers. And when you start thinking about the damage that he can do in that lineup, my guess is he'll probably hit behind Pujols. I don't think Albert's going to want to give up that number 3 spot, even though Hamilton's a little bit more of a reckless type of hitter. He's going to go out of the zone. But when you got Trout up there, you got Kendry Morales in that lineup, Trumbo. These guys can put some runs up on the board. And I think as of today, on paper, this is the team to beat in the American League West.
They were 4th in the majors in runs scored last year. If I was in Vegas right now and I could place a $1 wager, I think they're going to lead the major leagues in runs scored this year. Hamilton just brings a different dynamic to that lineup. As long as he can stay healthy, they keep him on the field. I would love to be Mike Scioscia to be able to decide whether I want to bat Pujols 3rd or 4th. And I agree with Dave. I like Trout leading off, and then I want Pujols hitting 3rd, Hamilton hitting 4th. And could you imagine a pitcher going into a scouting meeting and you have to talk about how you're going to attack this lineup? Pujols and Hamilton back-to-back. I mean, they're going to terrorize some teams.
You can't wait to talk about hitters number 8 and 9 in that lineup because nobody wants to deal with the top half.
You're going to score a lot of runs. I wonder if they're going to give up a lot of runs, right? What's the rest of this rotation? I saw Joe Blanton and Tommy Hanson pitch a lot at Citi Field in the last few years. That ain't working in the AL. I don't think so. Maybe, but those are not good starting pitchers, not high-end starting pitchers. They lost Zach Greinke, who's a high-end starting pitcher. They didn't replace him. They replaced a number 2, a legit number 1-2 with 4 5s. Jared Weaver, is he going to be, like he's an excellent ace? C.J. Wilson hurt, went down last year. They're going to be in a lot of 10-8 games, and I think it's hard to win a division 10-8. The Oakland A's snuck up on everyone last year. I still think with everything everyone did this offseason, they have the best pitching in the division, and they're going to be hard to beat. I mean, I would ask you this, Dave. You announce out there, you played out there. They always have an advantage. They want to get out of that stadium, but it's hard to win in their stadium when they have good pitching, and they have good pitching.
Yes, they respond very well in that ballpark, and I do agree with you. I think that their starting pitching is a tick above the Angels. Angels also lost Dan Herron. That's 2 guys, Greinke and Herron, from that rotation. I think that is their – if they have a weak link, that is their weak link. I think bringing Matson and the other setup guy out there has really strengthened their bullpen. But Matson – will he be healthy? Is he going to be able to take that ball every day as your closer? But that is the one weak link that they do have. A's, I don't think they're going to be able to do what they did last year. I think last year was an aberration. I thought Chili Davis did an amazing job with those hitters. You had a ton of guys in double digits in home runs. Not very high average, but they hit the ball out of the ballpark.
The signing of Hamilton, Joel, do you think that it was reactionary on the part of Artie Moreno based on what the Dodgers have been doing this offseason?
Well, if all the reporting I've done is accurate, and I've got to believe in my reporting, right? This is not a dance they began until they did a little at the winter meetings. Josh Hamilton was there, which was strange to have a player of his caliber at the winter meetings. That generally doesn't happen. He did stop in to talk to the Angels, but it was only in about the last week or so before the signing that they put the pedal to the metal. They're saying now that this was their guy. Everyone else you talk to says Zach Greinke was their guy. That was the guy they wanted. And it's interesting. The Rangers wanted Greinke, didn't get him, AL West. The Angels wanted him, didn't get him, AL West. He goes to the Dodgers. We see what the Dodgers do here on this graphic. They're continuing to build up. And I wouldn't give up on the Rangers yet. They have a pedigree. They know how to win. I know there's a big hole in the middle of their lineup now, but they still have an excellent 25-man roster, perhaps the best farm system in baseball, and a go-for-it front office. Remember, you don't have to have your real team until April 1st, and you don't have to have your go-for-it team until July. I say that there'll be a couple of guys on that team before we know it. I will go back to what I said about Toronto. Think about the pressure on the Angels. Think about the pressure on Mike Scioscia, who knows it's playoffs or bust, or he will not be the manager of the Angels in 2014 if the Angels do not do something significant in 2013. It's a big weight to carry around.
Going back to your question to Joel, though, Bob, this is weird to say because the Angels should be worried about the Rangers, and that should be their competition. But I think the bulk of this move was in reaction to the Dodgers. And they can say whatever they want about Hamilton being their guy, but it seems like they got in on him late after they failed to get Greinke. They saw the Dodgers with Stan Kasten and Magic Johnson and Don Mattingly, all the things they were doing. I definitely think there was a reactionary quality to this, and I still think it was a smart move because they got him for 5 years. They've made that lineup a ferocious lineup. Does the pitching have to come around? Of course it does. But I still think that that lineup is going to do a lot of damage.
And if it was reactionary, and as you think of L.A. and Hollywood, I think the Angels are the team that came away with the stars for the Walk of Fame. I think Trout, the way he burst on the scene last year, Pujols and Hamilton are the big box office draws, if you will, in L.A.
If you think about it, if you were fighting two people at once and you could throw one punch and hit them both in the jaw, would you do it? They did. The Rangers are their big competition in the AL West. They took away their number 3 hitter. The Dodgers are their big competition in Southern California. They made a giant splash after Greinke went from them to the Dodgers. So it's one punch on 2 guys. And in 2013, it looks great. I wonder what Albert Pujols and Josh Hamilton are going to look like 4 years from now.
It's a great point. Wonder what the Astros are going to do to compete. I mean, here they come into the American League West. They're changing leagues, and boom, there you go. You're dealing with the Angels. You're dealing with a Texas Rangers team that Joel has said always reloads.
Yeah, 55 wins last year, and what's the over-under going to be on the number of wins that the Astros are going to get this year? It's a tough situation for the Astros to walk into. I'm not sure as you look up and down that division that they're going to have a lot of life this year. I would bet another $1. I'm not a betting guy, but this is my second betting reference. They are going to finish last in that division.